They told you that you're lazy, that you lack ambition, that maybe you were just born average. But what they never told you was that you were never meant to fit their mold in the first place. You are not lazy. You are unprogrammed. And that is the most dangerous kind of potential the world has ever known. See, laziness is not a trait. It's a label. And every label is a limitation dressed up as logic. When a child is told over and over again that they're slow, that they're difficult, that they're not good enough, eventually they stop resisting. They don't become the failure. They just stop trying to prove otherwise. But underneath that silence, underneath the quitting, underneath the apathy, there's something alive. A spark. A drive that's been smothered, not dead dormant, and in you it's still there. Because you were born to create, to pursue, to build something the world hasn't seen. But somewhere along the way, you were taught how to obey instead of how to think. Let me remind you, there is no such thing as a lazy soul. There are only souls suffocated by the wrong environment. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before he found the filament that could hold light. Do you think he was ever lazy? No, he was obsessed. And obsession is what this world misdiagnoses as madness, right up until it becomes brilliance. You were not built for blind repetition. You were built to ignite. But if your fire is not pointed in the right direction, it burns out, or worse, it burns you. You were not born disinterested. You were made to dream. But when those dreams are ridiculed, minimized, or placed on a shelf in exchange for practicality, you begin to rot from the inside out. Listen to me, your mind is not broken. It is simply unaligned, unprogrammed, unwired for their system, because it was never built for visionaries. It was built to maintain the ordinary, to keep the wheels turning, to punish anyone who dares question the gears. But the ones who changed the world were never the ones who obeyed it. They were the ones who rewrote the code. Henry Ford was called insane for wanting to build a car the common man could afford. Walt Disney was told a mouse could never carry a kingdom. Oprah Winfrey was told she didn't have the look for television. They didn't accept the programming, they replaced it. And you can too. But first you must deprogram the lie that you were meant to be mediocre. You see, most people aren't lazy. They're uninspired. They're unclear. They're shackled by fear, disguised as responsibility. They wake up, go through the motions, pay the bills, scroll through lives they wish they had, and wonder why they feel hollow. It's because purpose has been stripped from the process. And without purpose, effort dies. So before you beat yourself up for not hustling harder, ask yourself this: do you even know where you're going? Because energy without direction is chaos, and discipline without vision is torture. That's why clarity isn't a luxury, it's survival. Clarity turns vague goals into sharp targets. It makes the fog lift. It gives you the why that gets you out of bed before the alarm, the how that keeps you going when it gets hard, and the what that lets you know when you're on track or off course. You are not broken. You are just waiting to remember what you were made for. And let me tell you, you were made for something far greater than just getting by. But no one is coming to hand you that clarity. You have to mine for it. Just like gold, purpose is buried under layers of dirt, distraction, fear, judgment, trauma, self-doubt. But dig long enough, and you will strike something pure, something eternal. And once you have that, once your purpose clicks into place, you won't need motivation. You'll be on fire. Discipline will become devotion. Work will become worship. Every action will feel like alignment. But make no mistake, the world will try to pull you back into its programs. Comfort, comparison, conformity. You will be told to slow down, to fit in, to be realistic. Ignore it. You are not here to fit. You are here to expand. You were not made to repeat the past. You were made to rewrite it. And rewriting the past requires belief, unshakable, unreasonable, untamed belief. Not the shallow kind of belief they sell you in self-help books. Not the kind that whispers, maybe someday. Number, the kind of belief that says, even if the whole world tells me no, I will find a way to yes. The kind that built pyramids and powered revolutions. The kind that made an immigrant named Andrew Carnegie the richest man of his time, with nothing but steel and a dream. That kind of belief is not born, it is forged. And it is forged in resistance. In the moment when everyone else quits and you keep going. In the moment when the bank account is empty, the critics are loud, and the path is dark and still, you move forward. You don't need more apps. You don't need another planner. You don't need someone to tell you how to wake up at 5 a.m. You need to wake up your belief. Because belief is the engine. Without it, nothing moves. But with it, even the impossible becomes inevitable. And belief is not just a mindset, it's a choice. A decision. To back yourself when no one else does. To say, I don't care what the odds are, I'm all in. But belief alone is not enough. It must be paired with action, violent, focused, relentless action. That's where most people fail. They pray, they visualize, they manifest, but they never move. They treat life like a wishing well, not a battlefield. And success favors the fighters. You want more, then do more. Not someday, not when it's convenient. Now, because faith without works is fiction. You say you want a better life, but do your habits reflect that? You say you want to succeed, but does your schedule prove it? You say you're tired of settling, but what have you refused to tolerate this week? You are not lazy. You are waiting for someone to give you permission. Let this be that permission. You are not broken. You are misdirected. You are not falling behind. You are unaligned with your true rhythm, and once you find it, you'll stop looking sideways and start charging forward. So here's what you do. You write your own code, and that code starts with vision. That code starts with vision, not just a blurry hope or a Pinterest board of quotes, but a fire-clear, soul-carved image of the life you're here to build. A vision so magnetic, it drags you out of bed when your body wants to quit. A vision so specific, so detailed, so real in your mind, you can smell it. Feel the wood grain of your future desk. Hear the silence of financial peace. Taste the coffee on your porch with nothing to rush to but your purpose. This isn't fantasy. It's design. Every skyscraper was once a sketch. Every empire began as an idea scribbled in the margins of obscurity. Your vision is your blueprint. And the clearer you draw it, the more the world starts bending around it. Because the universe does not respond to vagueness, it responds to conviction. And when you walk in conviction, people will call you arrogant. Let them. When you plan your days with ruthless intention, they'll call you obsessed. Wear it like armor. The masses mock what they don't understand, right up until they envy it. Vision without execution is hallucination. But vision with discipline, that's destiny. Discipline is love in action. Not the fluffy kind, the fierce kind. The kind that tells your feelings to sit down because your future has work to do. The kind that treats your goals like sacred vows. Discipline is the difference between the life you wish you had and the one you choose to create. It doesn't ask for motivation. It doesn't negotiate with excuses. It doesn't wait for inspiration to strike. It shows up, rain or shine, and demands results. That's the truth no one wants to say. Success is boring. It's unsexy. It's repetition, not revelation. You build the life of your dreams in the silence of early mornings, in the discomfort of skipped distractions, in the unseen hours where no one claps but you build anyway. That's not laziness you're fighting, it's programming. The programming that says you deserve ease before you've earned it. That says comfort is the goal, not greatness. That tells you you're enough, even when you know you were made for more. You are not a machine, but you are a force. And every force must be focused. Because power without precision is chaos. You want freedom? Then master structure. Not rigid, soul-crushing routines, but sacred systems. Discipline that is devoted to your vision, habits that serve you like an army. Because when your actions align with your future, the future bows back. And that's when momentum hits. Momentum is holy. It's that invisible tailwind that shows up when you've paid the price. When the work compounds. When every brick you laid in exhaustion starts to look like a cathedral. It's not luck. It's not fate. It's the reward of relentless alignment. But even momentum fades if you forget this next key. Gratitude. Not the passive kind. Not the write it in a journal and forget it kind. Real gratitude is active. Alive. It sees struggle as a sacred teacher. It says, I'm not there yet, but thank God I'm not where I started. It anchors you when the storm hits. And the storm will hit. Gratitude is the fireproof mindset. Because when life hits hard, and it will, the ungrateful mind collapses. But the grateful mind adapts. It turns pain into power. It sees setbacks as setups. It doesn't ask, why me? It asks, what is this making of me? That's resilience. And resilience is not a buzzword, it's a requirement. Because there will be days when nothing works. When the clients leave, when the bank account dips, when your best effort still falls flat, and that's when the average mind checks out. But not you. You are not average. You are not motivated. You are possessed by purpose. You don't get up for applause. You get up because the mission isn't done. You don't work to prove something to others. You work to become someone you admire. And when you fail, not if, but when you don't collapse, you calibrate. Like Lincoln after dozens of political losses before becoming the president that freed a nation. Like Michael Jordan cut from his high school basketball team, now a global symbol of tenacity. Like Steve Jobs fired from the company he created, only to return and make history. Failure is not the opposite of progress. It is the progress. The only failure that lasts is the one you stop learning from. So learn. Not to collect information, but to evolve. Become a student of your own journey. Study your patterns. Track your habits. Audit your time like your future depends on it, because it does. Self-awareness is the switch that turns failure into fuel. And when you know yourself, when you really know yourself, your triggers, your rhythms, your fire, your fears, you become untouchable. Because the world can't break what it didn't build. And it didn't build you. You are a self-made symphony. Every scar a note. Every mistake a chord. Every victory a crescendo. And the world has not heard your full song yet. But it will if you play it. And that starts today. Not next year. Not when the timing is perfect. Not when the stars align. Today. Because procrastination is just potential's graveyard. And regret is the echo of dreams never dared. You don't need to be ready. You need to start. Start messy. Start loud. Start when you're scared. Start when you have no clue what you're doing, and trust that clarity comes in motion, not before it. You are not lazy. You are unprogrammed. And now, you are awakening. You are awakening to the truth that's been buried beneath years of conditioning, beneath the noise of critics, beneath the pressure to be palatable, likable, average. Awakening to the fact that you were never meant to wait for permission, that you were never meant to shrink to fit their templates. You were born to expand beyond them. Your restlessness, it's not a flaw, it's a signal. Your dissatisfaction, it's not depression, it's direction. It's the voice of your higher self banging on the walls of your comfort zone, begging you to break out. Because deep down you know you were made for something greater. And that greatness isn't fame. It isn't followers. It's impact. It's legacy. It's walking through fire for something that will outlive you. But if you want to get there, you need to decide right now that you are done being passive, done being reactive, done blaming the economy, your childhood, your circumstances, your boss, your body, your timeline. Because the moment you take full ownership is the moment you reclaim full power. Let them say you've changed. Let them say you're too intense. Let them whisper that you're too much, too obsessed, too focused, too disciplined. Do you know what they called too much 10 years later? Successful. They called Muhammad Ali crazy. They laughed at Bezos selling books out of a garage. They mocked Kanye before he took over fashion. They told Serena to sit down and be quiet, and she became the greatest to ever touch a racket. Do not wait for their applause. Create in silence until the results scream louder than their doubts ever could. You do not owe this world your conformity. You owe it your truth. And your truth will scare people. Because your light exposes their shadows. But let it shine anyway. Because playing small does not serve the world, it betrays your birthright. Every time you pretend to be less than what you are to make others comfortable, you rob the world of your gift. And let me be clear, your gift is needed. Not someday, not later. Now, somewhere, someone is waiting for the thing only you can create. The book only you can write. The service only you can give. The solution only your mind can invent. The story only you can live. But they'll never receive it if you don't deliver it. And you'll never deliver it if you keep telling yourself that you're not ready. Here's the truth. Readiness is a lie. No one was ever ready for greatness. They just decided to rise to it. You rise when you choose discomfort over delay. You rise when you choose growth over guilt. You rise when you stop waiting to be inspired and start being responsible for your evolution. Because inspiration is cheap. It's everywhere. But integrity? That's rare. Integrity is what you do when no one is watching. It's who you are when the camera's off, when the doors are closed, when the dopamine dries up. It's how you act when success is still a whisper, not a shout. And the higher you climb, the more you'll realize integrity is the foundation. It's what makes success sustainable. It's the difference between those who rise fast and crash hard and those who build legacies that last lifetimes. So build yours one hard choice at a time. One 5 a.m. morning at a time. One deep breath in the middle of chaos, choosing discipline instead of drama. One powerful no that protects your focus. One bold yes that terrifies your comfort zone. You were not put here to replicate, you were put here to revolutionize. But revolutions don't begin on podiums, they begin in private. In the mirror. In the mundane. In the moments you want to give up but decide to give more. That's where champions are made. And you, my friend, are not lazy. You're just waking up. Waking up to the identity you buried to be accepted. Waking up to the voice you silenced to be safe. Waking up to the standard you abandoned to survive. But survival is not your story. Victory is. And it begins the moment you refuse to be anything less than exactly what you were born to become. You are not a mistake. You are not behind. You are not a lost cause. You are a builder, a breaker of cycles, a creator of future, a rewriter of fate. You are not lazy. You are becoming. And becoming takes courage. So burn the false narratives, silence the noise, rewire the code, and build. Build like your soul depends on it. Because it does. You were never supposed to fit in. You were born to wake them up. But first, you had to wake up yourself. And now that you're awake, the world won't know what hit it. Now go.